Well, JD, I didn't even know that you left. I thought it was just COVID. I haven't seen you around for the last year or so. But in all honesty, of course, after a very short time in New York, it does feel like you never left whatsoever. So welcome back. It's
Thanks,
great
Bob.
to have you here. And just what have the last couple of weeks been like for you?
New for sure, Bob, and thanks for the words. It's been interesting and new and somewhat shocking when something like that happens, but I think with the body of work there, we feel that we did a good job. So the Rangers are going to be an up-and-coming team for sure. And then once the reality settles in, you're trying to figure out what you're going to do. Are you going to retire? You're going to head to Florida? Are you going to head to Western Canada? What are you going to do, you know? And then once I got all the business aspect of things taken care of in New York, phone started to ring with a number of different opportunities aside from retiring, and one of them came from Mike Priest. And in talking it over with my wife, and by Zoom with my daughters, one's in St. Louis, one's in Canton, Michigan, outside of Detroit. They have a combined total of 5 little boys, so I've got 5 grandsons. Columbus just happens to be kind of in between, and we really enjoyed the city of Columbus when we lived here. All aspects of it. It didn't matter what it was, if it's restaurants, if it's getting around, if it's airport, if it's bringing people in to visit and go to the world-class zoo, et cetera, we loved it. And I've always said that. Even when I was gone, I said that. So it just aligned. It made sense to come back, and so no vacation, no retirement, back at it here with the Blue Jackets.
It's kind of ironic because when you left, you said going to the Rangers was really kind of your dream job because you were with that organization for so many years in different capacities. But as it turns out, I think the Blue Jackets are your dream job, JD.
Well, I couldn't tell you how happy I am to be here. I mean that sincerely. And it's not just working with the Blue Jackets. It's working with, well, it is working with the people that I'm going to be working with. I know most of them. Coming back to the arena nationwide here, getting to see people again. I already know the streets and the highways. I know what service station to go to get this done or that done. Car dealerships, all that. I know it. So it's like it's not new. It's we're back at it. It's hardly if we've been gone at all. So it just fits. Everything fits perfectly for me. And I know we have work to do. That's fine because that's part of the racket. If you don't like hard work, don't be here. And I enjoy hard work, so we're going to get at it.
Did you consider getting back into the media at all with a couple of new TV deals in the league now?
Absolutely, and had a lot of respect for what they're trying to do, and had lengthy discussions. But I'd rather be doing this at this time in my life. I wish them all the best, and the discussions were really good. They were real. There was others, but this is the arrow kept pointing here, so we followed the arrow.
Now, in media, like, first of all, I work for the team, so I'm around every day, so you have an invested passion and interest. But, like, I have no control over it. It's all what you do. You and your staff and the players do that decides that. And so I ask you, as being in the media for so long, being in this role and having that control, you know, trying to hire the right people, sign the right players, how much do you enjoy actually being a part of it? If the team's going to win, you're going to be a big part of it.
I enjoy it a lot. I'd rather be in the trenches than anywhere else. And if we ever do get to winning, which I plan on doing, that's the idea of it, it's going to be fantastic. I know what this building's like. I know what these fans are like when you get on a roll and how much they enjoy the jumping into the battle and having great, long, hard playoff series. That's what entices you to get there. But to get to that point, you got to go through the work every day. It's showing up early and working all day and trying to make things happen. It's a wide world, the NHL is, from finding players in all parts of the world, developing them quickly, getting them strong, getting them to be the best that they can be. All that stuff you go through day after day after day, and then you work with the players and their families that are here. I think it's important for us to have an understanding that I know Columbus is a good city. I really enjoy living here. It's important for me to continue to get that message out. I still think Columbus is somewhat of a secret, even though it's not as much of a secret as it used to be about the quality of life that people have living here. I know a lot of people have moved here. I know because I'm trying to find a house. I know a lot of people return to this city when they leave. I'm one of them. So it's all good. It's all good.
Yarmo's been running this for the last 2 years while you've been gone. Do you come right back in and do the same things, or is there any kind of massaging with Yarmo and figuring out things?
No, not at all. Yarmo and I have known each other way too long, and I'm the one that hired Yarmo here a number of years ago. So, no, we've had great discussions the last couple of days about a lot of different issues, and we both have a common goal, along with the rest of the staff. So, there's no flux, there's no anything. It's just let's just roll up the sleeves and get to work.
One of the things you're going to have to do is hire a new coaching staff. You guys have done that before. You replaced a coach here before, but it was during the season.
Yeah.
This is a little bit different. What's the criteria going to be to fill that job?
Well, I think that, as I've said earlier, that you need a coach that's going to come in here understanding what we are and how he's going to coach them, not just be a coach, work with our group. And then it's got to be somebody that I know with this group could work with that coach. So it's got to be not so much 50-50, but it has to be a blend of the coach is the boss, this is how we're doing it, and we have to understand that this is the right guy to do it his way with this group. So we're going to sift our way through all of this stuff and find that right person.
And the last time you guys did it with John Tortorella, you hit a home run that time.
Torts did a good job here, obviously, for a long time. I had known Torts for years, especially when he was in New York, when I was there with the Rangers, and he was the right coach for the right time with this club. We needed leadership, and he provided a lot of that, and he demanded a lot of different things, and obviously I'll still call Torts and see how he's doing and maybe get some advice from him once in a while. He's for a guy that's a piece of work, I really enjoyed him.
I agree. I can relate to that. I really enjoyed that.
A piece of work.
He is a piece of work, yeah. Let's talk about the other things. It's a big summer because besides the coaching, there's an expansion draft. There's 3 first-round picks in the regular draft. There are contracts you're going to be able to try to extend coming up here. Is it going to be hard to take it one step at a time and not try to do everything right at once?
We'll get into the office. We'll get all the brain trust there, and you'll smell the wood burning. But these are tough decisions and important decisions, but that's why we're here. And we will make the right decisions. We'll battle our way through. Sometimes when you're doing 2 at once, you do 2, but we'll just get them done, get them in order, and be prepared for anything and everything. And I also want our players to understand that this was one crazy, wacky season for a lot of us in a lot of different ways. But get yourselves ready, because if it gets back to normalcy come the fall, I want our players ready to show up and go to work. So take your summertime, train your tails off. It doesn't matter what age you are. We got a lot to prove here, and we're going to need everybody to be at their best.
When we did this 7 years ago, you were the brick-by-brick guy.
Yeah.
What's the brick situation look like right now? Is it the same, or is there a little bit different of a look?
Well, bricks always need a little grout here and there to make sure they don't break off. I just want us to go north. I mean, the brick-by-brick thing was an analogy to how you build your base and work your way up, and you're always doing that no matter what. But I want to make sure that we don't look back. We have no regrets about anything. I want to go north. I want to have people ready to go to work when they get here. People follow their programs, players that is, get our coaches in place. And then when it comes time for training camp, it's, well, let's go, gang. Here we go. It'll be fun.
How many calls and texts have you gotten from people, especially that may be stunned that you're back here today?
I've looked, but I haven't answered any of them. It's going to take a day or two. This game is a great game, Bob, as you know. You make a lot of friends, especially when you've been around this league as long as I have. I had a ton of support when things changed in New York with the Rangers. It was phone calls and texts by the hundreds. And now that this has happened and announced today, it's unbelievable. And a lot of them are former players with the Blue Jackets, too. That was really nice. I haven't read them, I haven't returned them, but as I was driving today and trying to get places, I was looking quick, and it's just great. It's really gratifying.
Any with expiring contracts that might want to come back? Let me ask you this, just to wrap this up here. You've answered the media's questions. You've answered my questions. If you were to look right there and tell the fans, what message do you want to give them on your second go-around with the Blue Jackets?
Well, I think the fans, when I was here last, we went through a growing process that it filled the building. And that was as good as it gets. I mean, this place, when it's full and people are into it, it rocks. And I think there's a genuine love for this team. The fifth line has been very special. And we're back here and couldn't be happier. Just can't be any happier than to be back here with the Blue Jackets. Understand that ownership is something that's very special here with this club in this city. The ownership is not just the ownership of the team. The ownership knows this team is part of the city of Columbus, the greater area of Columbus, and they do their best to make this city a better city. Those are the types of owners you want to work for. Our club's going to be a hardworking club. We're going to demand things, and we're going to start getting to work this afternoon.
Well, it's never good to be in the off season, but sometimes really good things happen in the off season, and this is one of them. JD, thank you very much again.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Take care, everybody.